let me mention another JFK document that's very important and I think will interest you. One of the things that's withheld and is in the JFK collection right now is the testimony of James Angleton in 1975 to the Church Committee about the Israeli nuclear program. This is a 113-page document, and it's heavily redacted to this day. And the redactions clearly pertain to Israel. Now, is this an assassination-related document? Absolutely. The Assassination Records Review Board said this is an assassination-related document. It meets the statutory definition. Okay? If the president and this effort are serious, that testimony will be declassified because Angleton controlled the Oswald file on the one hand, and he was a contact with the Israelis on the other. So it belongs in the public record. That's another test of, is this serious effort?
So let me ask you, why in the world would the Dimona project, the Israeli nuclear program, which has never officially been admitted by anybody but Israel, what would that conceivably have to do with the assassination of JFK?
Well, it relates to what Angleton was doing in 1963, okay? There were profound conflicts between Israel and the Kennedy White House over the nuclear program. Kennedy was pressing for on-site inspections, which the Israelis resisted because on-site inspections would have realized that they had a bomb-making program. So this was a real bone of contention between the Israeli government and the Kennedy administration in the summer of 1963, at a time when Angleton controlled the Oswald file. So just the juxtaposition of those facts means that everything about it should be on the public record.
And Angleton, who was the counter-intel chief at CIA, James Jesus Angleton, he... That's quite amazing. Did he support, do you know his view of the Israeli nuclear program?
I mean, it's very hard to tell sometimes from this testimony, given all the redactions. But yeah, that's, was he secretly supporting Israel against JFK? That's one of the questions that needs to be answered by full disclosure.
So why would he be asked about that in a congressional hearing? That's quite amazing.
Well, because in 1975, the CIA had been revealed to be running assassination programs, to be running a mind control program, to be spying on the anti-war movement, spying on Americans. So, he was hauled before, and Congress, who was completely in the dark, had been duped or wanted to be duped. Suddenly their eyes woke up and they had to explain to their constituents, hey, what have these guys been doing in our name? And so Angleton was called in, and this was all, executive session testimony. So he was grilled about lots of things, about domestic spying, about the Israeli nuclear program, about the JFK assassination. Interestingly enough, he was not questioned about Oswald because even the Church Committee did not know the extent of the pre-assassination surveillance of Oswald. That's only something we've learned since the 1990s.
It is interesting. I mean, I have no idea what the truth is, of course, but it is interesting that one of the only major policy changes that Lyndon Johnson made in the year after the president's murder was, on the Israeli nuclear program, which he accepted. Basically, he dropped the demand for on-site inspections. He dropped the demand that AIPAC be classified as a domestic lobby. And, there was really no accountability after that. And the story only emerged, 10 years later when the Church Committee started pressing Angleton for some explanations. When we started this show, we were looking for a very specific sponsor. We wanted to find a company that could send us good meat, better than anything you could buy in a grocery store that didn't have a lot of weird hormones in it or chemicals, just good meat from the United States. And we found one, and we are proud to partner with them. They're called Merriweather Farms, and they produce all-natural beef, and we are proud to be in business with them. We eat it. Our viewers have been buying it and loving it. We've got all kinds of positive reviews. Again, this is a sponsor we're proud to have. So Merriweather Farms is out with a new product. In addition to the steaks that we have almost every night here and the burgers all shipped directly to your house, they have a new line of snacks, including single-serve beef sticks, one of which is right here on the table. Unlike store-bought alternatives, which you can buy at convenience stores, these are made in the United States in Wyoming at their facility, and they're free of nitrates, MSG, mystery meat, and other weird stuff you don't want in your mouth. Like all the products that Meriwether Farms makes, they are made fresh. They've got simple ingredients, all of which you can pronounce and recognize, and they're delicious and good for you. If you use our special promo code TCN10 at checkout, they're about $1.50 a piece. It's a perfect on-the-go protein boost if you need one, or if you've got kids or sports or want something to keep in your car or truck. Super easy and good for you. Check out Meriwether Farms today. You will taste the difference. It's, again, better than anything you can buy at the grocery store, and it comes right to your house. Go to meriwetherfarms.com/Tucker and use the promo code TCN10 for a discount. That's Meriwether Farms, MERIWETHER, farms.com/Tucker. So I had no idea until you just told me that was actually a feature of those hearings. And so, of course, I mean, the American public has an absolute right to know what's in that exchange 50 years later. And this is a tough call for the president, because he's going to get very strong pushback from his national security apparatus, supported by the CIA, supported by Israeli interests, to say, no, you can't talk about that. That's not permitted. Don't do that. Yeah, it's frustrating as an American citizen. I don't have any kind of real agenda here other than it's, my country. I'm a shareholder in America, as are you. And right. I think we have an absolute moral right and a legal right to know this 50 years later. So, I really appreciate your taking all this time, Jefferson Morley. And I hope you don't mind if we check in with you, to see if the promise is fulfilled. Like I say,
there's some very clear benchmarks to figure out, is this working or not? And, are people holding up the process and obstructing the president's wishes? Or are they really going along? And so the proof is in the pudding. The president's sentiment is great. It's great that a president has committed to this. It's amazing that no president has committed in this way before. But we'll take it. I'm not a supporter of President Trump, but on this issue, he's absolutely right, and we need to follow through on what he said.
What's your guess as to why they're holding so tightly? And I can just say, I'm sure you know this, but as of last month, there was pressure in Washington to appoint or not appoint certain people based on the likelihood they would push for declassification of these documents. In other words, there are federal bureaucrats right now for whom withholding these documents is a high priority. I just think that's amazing. What do you think that is?
I think the only explanation is that the CIA has something to hide, and they'd rather be seen as defying the law than releasing the information. I mean, that tells you something right there. And, we can go into the specifics of, some of the key documents that are out there that are important to be produced soon. But until that happens, we can't be sure that it's going to happen.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. We hope you'll subscribe to it. And by the way, you can hit the little bell on there and get notifications every time we produce a video. We hope you'll do that also.